What's up, everybody? On this episode of the podcast, we have Jona Herrera, the owner of Leela Skin. Jona is a holistic esthetician who graduated from the Upland campus in the fall of 2021. As a student, Jona was a leader in the classroom and won multiple scholarships from Beauty Changes Lives, Dermaoligca, the Worth Up Alliance, and more. Jona wants to help you discover scholarship opportunities and the importance of showing up for yourself. Learn more about Jona's journey on this episode of Salon Success Academy podcast.
So what's up? This is the Salon Success podcast. I'm Joseph Joe Marmolejo.
And I'm Jeff Gross.
At Salon Success, you can get a great haircut.
Let's do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know what we're yelling about!
Well, hello, Salon Success.
The girls at Beauty Academy are so mean.
She doesn't even go here.
Welcome to Salon Success Academy.
You can't sit with us.
Salon Success.
Hello, Salon Success.
Help you with your career, just a little.
Salon Success.
All right, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, we have Jona.
Woo.
Jona graduated fall last year, right?
Yeah, November of 2021.
All right. So Jona was a student in our aesthetics program here at Salon Success Academy in Upland, California. I believe I actually had the chance to meet you on one of your first couple weeks of class.
Probably. I saw you a few times during class, for sure.
Yeah, I know. Here, if you want to, you could adjust the mic, pull it a little closer to you, or even pull your chair.
Okay, yeah, because I almost knocked that table over.
Yeah, pulling your chair closer would probably be the best bet. All right. So I met you really early on. Who was your instructor?
Miss Lydia was still here.
Oh, Miss Lydia is awesome.
Yeah. I liked her a lot.
Yeah. So, Mo, did you want to have any questions? Ask about Jona's background?
Well, first off, I'm a big fan.
Thank you so
love
much.
your vibe, and I see you do like meditation classes.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool how you brought the vibes with all that and your crystals and stuff like that with the aesthetics.
Yeah.
I think they kind of go well together, and you're big on manifestation.
Huge, yeah.
Do you have like a thing that you say to yourself daily?
Show up for yourself. That's the biggest one for sure.
Okay.
Showing up for myself was something that I was doing before I even created the phrase. Mm-hmm. So when I decided to show up for myself, that was when I decided to come here. Showing up for myself was showing up and applying for the Dermaoligca scholarship. Mm-hmm. Showing up for myself was applying for the Beauty Changes Lives business grant. So before I even had coined the term or the phrase, I was actively showing up for myself as opposed to trying to do the smart, logical thing and get a real big boy job or whatever in the world, and actually applying my creativity. So yeah, I would say my mantra for manifestation is just showing up for yourself, because that's so much of the battle, the process.
Yeah. And what brought you to aesthetics? What made you want to be an esthetician?
I am a man of many talents and many hats and many careers as well. I've been, thank you so much. I've been a non-emergency medical driver. I've been an ESL teacher in Hangzhou, China. I've been, what else? I've been a lead veterinary technician at Angel Care Animal Hospital here in Upland. But the one thing that I always did for free or would even spend money on was beauty, and then skincare specifically. Mm-hmm. And then meditation and spirituality was always something that's gone really deep in my family. Mm-hmm. But when your family comes from poverty, they tend to forget a lot about that because it's survival mode, Yeah. It's about paying these bills. So meditation and prayer outside of just please God send me money is about as far as the spirituality goes. And so me being born into that middle class background where there is a little bit more room to breathe mentally and emotionally, the ball then gets kicked to you to figure out and fix all those things that happened to your family during the come up that weren't right, but maybe were necessary, So yeah.
What were you doing just before? I didn't mean to cut you off, but what were you doing just before you got here? I've been wondering about that.
That's when I was an ESL teacher in Hangzhou, China.
Okay.
And I was there right before COVID, and then I was literally on the bridge back. I was in Korea with my fiance, and a friend of mine who's from Shanghai was like, dude, how are you going to get back into China? And I was like, I don't know, by plane probably. And he was like, no, what? But how are you getting in? The whole country's like literally locked down. Like you're not getting in or out. And I had turned on the news like that morning right away when he told me, and it said like right away, like China on lockdown, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
Nobody in, nobody out. And it was like, oh, so I didn't know what I was going to do. Then my director, she starts messaging me right away saying, you have to come back right away. We're going to find a way to get you back in. And then it was like, well, okay, I guess so. And then like this moment of like great clarity came over and was like, you don't have to go back if you don't want. She cannot make you go back. But I wanted to go back. I wanted to finish my contract, and I really love my job out there. But then I thought, you know how China is, you know how the Chinese government is, and you know how they'll treat you, you know, once the glitter and the glamour wears off and it's like crunch time and it's like serious business. So I was like, do you want to live in China under an intense lockdown? However they decide to handle things, doesn't matter if it's right or wrong or logical, or does not matter. You have to obey. And I was like, well, obedience has never really been my thing. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go get my stuff, you know, from my apartment, and I'm going to bounce. And then my mom was like, what are you saying? Like, if you go there, you cannot come back. Like, you just need to come back home. And that's when another moment of clarity was like, this is it. Like, you're not going back ever again.
So you left all your things?
Literally, like all the food in my refrigerator rotted. Like everything that I left there, the way I left it there was the way that it got left. So I texted my neighbor and was like, dude, go through my apartment, whatever you want, take it. I'm not coming back. I was like, you can have my brand new IKEA couch that I just bought like 2 weeks ago, you know, with my paycheck. And I was like, have it. Like, you can have whatever you want. I was like, and everything else, just leave it. Like, no one's coming back for it. And I was like, and if the lady comes after you asking where the rent is, just let her know that she can have my deposit. It's okay. So yeah.
Wow.
Cut your loss.
Yeah. I cut my losses, and then I decided to come back. And then I was like, well, oh God. And then I had a teaching job at a learning center in Riverside. I won't mention any names, but that was truly the most god awful job I'd ever had in my entire life. Like, the amount of pressure, it was to the point where I was getting like ulcers in my body, and like going blood when I would go to the bathroom, and like my stomach was hurting in a way that was like not normal.
So is that when you realized like, okay, I don't want to be working for anyone else anymore. This is time to take it into.
Yeah. Like, I had always been like more rebellious, and I'd always been pretty mouthy, especially when it comes to like people in authority. But like, the gloves came off during that job for sure. Like, they were talking to me in ways that they probably shouldn't have. I'm sure I gave them headaches as well, but that was like the third layer of clarity. Like, not only were you not supposed to be in China, you're probably also not supposed to be working for anybody else either. You know, and as much as I love speaking and teaching, that doesn't mean that I had to be in a classroom. But I didn't know that at the time. I just thought if you like teaching, you have to be a teacher in a classroom specifically. So then that's when I decided to come here to Salon Success. And then like everything got better like that week.
Oh,
It was like, this is where you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Like, you don't know the next 3 steps, but who cares? It just feels good to be here. You feel safer here. You know, clearly your talent and your thing for skin is on display here. So, you know, congrats to me for finally picking me and showing up, you know?
Yeah,
hey.
that's awesome.
No,
Which is something that people don't always do.
Yeah.
People will live their entire lives thinking that they're supposed to do this thing because of their kids or their husband or their wife or tradition. And it's like, there's actually no contract you ever signed stipulating that you have to. You actually don't. So, yeah.
I actually have been saying show up for yourself all week since you came by last Friday.
Yeah.
And in my head, I've been telling myself, hey, show up for yourself. Been telling my girlfriend that. Been telling my niece that, hey, show up for yourself.
It's a personal challenge. Like, it's not like, I didn't say go run 3 miles. I just said go show up for yourself. Go to the gym. You know, put your shoes on. Like, do your makeup in the morning. Get ready.
Be proud of yourself.
Yeah,
be proud of your
yourself.
accomplishments, your milestones.
Yeah, you might not have gotten, you know, a $10,000 raise, but at least you got the pat on the back that you were looking for, right? And if you realize, well, you wanted more, okay, well, you got that, and now you can say you want more, you know? But showing up for yourself is just the first step. Just get out of the house, you know?
So skincare, you mentioned that, you know, spirituality and like self-care has always been a huge cornerstone of your family.
Totally.
What specifically skincare? Like, how did you go from the learning center to?
I had always been like mixing oils and I love cosmetic chemistry. I just don't. I love learning. I just don't want to be in school all the time. So Google and YouTube have always been my best friends. So learning how to formulate my own ingredients, like my own skincare products, I've been doing that since I was about 15. I just never believed that it could turn into anything. I didn't know who to ask, where to go, who to formulate with. Does this need tests? Does this need labels? What hoops do I have to jump through to make this happen? So I kind of just always threw it on the back burner and literally worried about what I was going to do, because I'm a person who has like high anxiety. So when I came here, it was like, okay, you can apply all that to being here as well, and actually probably better off than you ever thought you never were going to be.
And a spa environment so zen too, so it's probably the perfect environment to be crossing into.
Right. When you are a person who is like very easily stressed out, and you still haven't at that point learned all your coping mechanisms for your anxiety, being in a more zen environment for sure is quite the gift.
Okay. How did you like your time here at SSA?
I had a blast.
Oh,
like I will say that point blank. I know that not everybody says that. I know not everybody feels that way. Boo-hoo. That's what I say. Boo-hoo, you got what you showed up for. You came here to prove to that there in the corner that you weren't the one, and you wanted to act, live out your Real Housewives of whatever fantasy. Mm-hmm. That's what you got. Yeah. Congratulations. She came over and she let you know what time it was, and then you screamed in her face too. And it's like, well, you enacted what you saw on TV thinking that's what you were worth, not realizing or remembering you paid to go here. They didn't pay you to come here. You know what I mean? So ask yourself, when you keep getting the same thing and that over here and over there and blah, 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 and you keep finding yourself in points of conflict, it's like, ask yourself how you added to that equation to get the product that you got. Yeah. You know what I mean? What did you say, or what did you do, or were you me-mugging people and acting like you weren't? So for me, I didn't show up for that. Yeah. I wanted to come here and really meet people like you guys, my teachers. I've always been the teacher's pet. I always wanted to know what the adults knew. I always wanted to know whoever was in charge, I wanted to know what they knew. So to me, my classmates were never my competition. They were just my classmates. They were just the other kids in the class, And
you guys definitely fed off each other very well. I remember that group of estheticians, and that I don't get to really know the estheticians as well as I do the Cosmos, because they're here for such a short amount of time. Yeah. But that whole group I could remember, like that, just because you guys were always nice when you came into the building, always smiling. When I'd go into the classroom to shoot, you guys were always helping each other, giving each other suggestions and advice, and people going to you for advice. So
because that's what I wanted. I had to at one point realize what you want is what you have to give people. Like the environment you want, and if you're going to complain about it, it's like, okay, well then if it's not good enough, why don't you make it good enough? And then as a result of that, I met one of the best people that I've ever met in my entire life. Her name is Brittany Arambola. She is one of my favorite classmates. She's no longer here. I think she works at a medical spa here in Rancho or Upland. But yeah, I mean, the fact that we were constantly helping each other out with our homework and, always bouncing ideas off of each other and trying new things. Miss Lydia.
Yeah.
And she brings so much experience to the table. Yeah. I really cherish Miss Lydia.
Yeah, there were things that she taught us that I otherwise never would have found out, about adding on to your services and making them more valuable rather than just straight out giving a discount, which has been proven true because I've heard that 7 times, on top of the times that she told us.
And being versatile. Yeah. Out of any of our staff members in the working field, I'd say Miss Lydia may be one of the most versatile members or, instructors that we have. She does makeup. She's done skincare her whole life. She's done hair and cosmetology her entire life. She does all of it. She's a whole beauty package.
Yeah, she's like a true creative. Mm-hmm. She's one of those people that really wants to show up on the job and make it happen, help you make it happen.
Yeah. And whenever Mud finishes up, she's always contacting me and Monique saying, "Hey, we have our little final coming up from Mud. Can you come and get some photos?"
Yeah.
That line of communication's awesome. I really appreciate that with instructors. Miss Lydia, when you listen to this, thumbs up.
We love you.
Thank you so much, Miss Lydia. Many great memories. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so you were here 680 hours. You completed your
quick boy. I did not miss a day except for the one day I got caught by Miss Stephanie getting coffee or so whatever. No, I think I was mailing something that totally could have waited till lunch. But me being me, I was like, I'll just slip out and just go mail it. And I came back and she had literally just stepped out. She was like, "Go home. Where were you?" And I totally tried to lie. And I was like, "Oh, I was here the whole time." She was like, "No, you weren't." And I was like, "Yeah, I wasn't." And she was like, "You got to go home." And I was like, "Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye." Like I wasn't gonna fight her.
and
I was clearly wrong, And I had so many hours built up that it didn't affect me anyway. But yeah, I had such a good time here.
When did you get your license?
I graduated in November. I got my license on December the 28th, like that next month. And they had changed it already, so you didn't have to take your practical. It was just the exam, and then that was it. And I think they mailed it to me. I think I got it in like January.
So what are you doing now?
Currently, I have my own studio, Leela Skin, on Euclid and Foothill, on that parking lot with Chase, Bonds, and the Roxy Salon Suites. I'm number 8. You can also find me on Google as well. So I am doing more like holistic facials. So right now I'm offering the Radiant Tea Facial, which features a chamomile face wrap. And then the second level, which is a little bit more expensive and a little longer, is the cacao facial, which is something that's really near and dear to my heart because I'm all about like finding your roots, and not even just the indigenous ones, all of them. So I'm starting off with my indigenous heritage on my mom and dad's side, where cacao was used during our spiritual journeys and, like on a daily basis by certain people, the priestly class and the nobility. And cacao is a really powerful ingredient. It's almost a dose of ecstasy. It's the highest concentration of any antioxidant in the world. Great for anti-aging, blemishes, brightening, the whole bit. So that's what I use in a lot of, actually in my second level. So that's what I'm doing right now is those 2 facials at Leela Skin on Euclid and Foothill.
How'd you choose the name?
Leela Skin. Leela is my grandmother's name. That's the phonetic sound out of Leonella. Her pet name or her family name was just Leela. It's also the German word for purple, which is my favorite color, and was also hers as well. And she was the one that actually taught me, like, I don't give a damn what you have going on in the day. You're going to do your hair. Like, you are going to put your shoes on. You're going to do your makeup. You're going to get your nails done. You're going to look right. And she was the one that always told me, like, what did she say? A woman's hair and toes always need to be done. And I was like, oh. And because she had taught my dad that, he always left the house, even whether for work or for whatever, he always looked right as well. And because he thought that, he found my mom, who also grew up that way. So looking good was just always a normal thing in my family. Mm-hmm. So beauty and aesthetics was sort of just a natural, I think, offshoot of that raising. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's where Leela comes from, Leonella. Leela.
Okay, yeah, I've been real curious about that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Since we started following you along the way. Mm-hmm. I like how personal it is. How personal it is, but it's not all about yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Mo, did you any questions before we ask about beauty changes lives?
No, I was just gonna jump into that. You can go ahead.
Yeah. So let me give a little background here. Jonah was a student here, and before he graduated, was it before you graduated?
Like right before I graduated, Dermaoligca had come probably about halfway through my time here, and they had done a Pro 30 power peel on one of the girls named Lily. And then Melissa was the instructor, and then right before she left, she just like scribbled on the board an opportunity for a scholarship. So then she was like, "Hey, if you guys want to get our scholarship, here it is." Of course, nobody cared. I sure did because I heard free money, and that was it. So I filled out the application that day. I went and filmed my video and then submitted it, and then that was how I learned about BCL, because Dermaoligca features their scholarship. Their New Beginning Scholarship, which, by the way, the deadline is August 21st, just if anyone's out there listening, so you know. So from there I learned about BCL, which is like a larger corporation organization led by Linnell Lynch, who's a big name in the beauty industry here on the West Coast. And
she's the owner of the Bellis Academy.
She's the owner of the Bellis Academies, and she's also the president of Beauty Changes Lives, which consolidates a lot of funding opportunities for beauty professionals and students.
And a huge advocate for just the beauty industry, for stylists, estheticians, nail techs, and barbers in general. So
yeah, like
thank you for helping throughout.
Resources on resources, you guys. Mm-hmm. Like being affiliated with BCL, it's almost like you hear the stories that people talk about. And to me, it sounds like a lot of complaining, because I cannot believe people don't go out and get the opportunities that are made available to them. I'm like, you guys, like, just click, go ask, do something, you know?
We don't have a solid, like a formal scholarship department here at Salon Success, but yeah, in our marketing department over here, Monique and I have kind of like taken on, doing a lot of the promotions of the scholarship, letting the students know about it. And I'm always surprised how little reaction there is to it. We posted it at what, about once a week we're posting it?
At least once a week, yeah.
At least once a week, and there's every once in a while we'll have a student ask us, and then we'll help out, any resources. But yeah, if there's free money, go get it.
Yeah. And I think
go get it, Delilah. We have are you a student ambassador?
Yes.
We have a student ambassador, Delilah. She's a barbering student here helping us produce this podcast today. So she's sitting in. Go apply for some.
Yeah, well then good on Delilah for being here.
I'll send you a barbering one.
Yeah, like there are opportunities for everybody. If like being green is your thing, they got one for that. If you're new like me, if Dermaoligca's got you one of those for you. If you're trying to start a new business like I was, Beauty Changes Lives has one of those as well through the Worth Up Alliance with Jason Baki and Ted Gibson. So.
And they have a huge event every year that you actually went to.
Well, I got really lucky. I was part of season 1, and then that was done at America's Beauty Show in Chicago. So I already knew in my heart that I was going to win because that's what I showed up for. Like I showed up for 10K, not 5K. I knew I was going to win because I showed up so prepared. And I knew that I was going to be on stage, and I knew at some point they were going to hand me the microphone, which is also what I've always asked for. And that was incredibly affirming. Like if ever I doubted myself, that was a time where it was like everything is in line and everything is happening for you, not to you or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? So Beauty Changes Lives did a huge thing at America's Beauty Show in Chicago. And then there were just like hundreds of people and just like tons of beauty professionals and just like the place you wanted to be to network. Not at the show itself, but at the party afterward. That was where you met like really powerful people and like big names and like donors and sponsors and like veterans of the industry who knew what it was like when all you had was your business card and your name. You know, so those are the people you wanted to shake hands with and meet, and that's exactly what I got through BCL, through the invitation that they gave me to be there.
Yeah, we were following your journey along the way, you know, from when you posted about the Dermaoligca one, and then as you became a finalist for the Worth Up Alliance. Yeah. Do you want to give a little background on what the Worth Up Alliance is?
Worth Up Alliance is a foundation created by celebrity hairstylist Ted Gibson and his husband Jason Baki, who is also a celebrity colorist. You can find Ted Gibson at Starring by Ted Gibson on Melrose in LA.
That looks awesome, by the way.
It is next level, fully automated. I mean, I think it's like $2,400 for a haircut.
Imagine like an Apple store and a salon had a baby.
Truly.
Damn, that's what you get.
Like super modern, everything is really abstract, but very beautiful, very elegant. So they got together. They've been together forever, but they created the Worth Up Alliance because they wanted greater resources to sort of come together as opposed to being so sporadic and sort of spread out, so that people could go to a certain few places and have those opportunities available to them with other beauty professionals to help each other out, as opposed to either competing or just not even knowing about one another.
Yeah, so you won that you were named the winner at America's Beauty Show in Chicago.
Very first winner of Worth Up Alliance's Dream Capital Grant. That was wild.
What was the prize?
The prize was, first of all, 10K. That was like the cash prize. But then along the way, my process was about 4 months. So between January and April, we had a bunch of meetings. I think we had one a week. And we got to meet like Kate Somerville. We got to meet Lisa Price from Carol's Daughter. We got to meet like digital marketing and e-commerce specialists. So people who were going to tell us how to like get out there. They didn't get into so many specifics all the time because the time was limited, but messages of hope, messages of encouragement, marketing strategies, all types of stuff, man. Like we were at least a little bit prepared for what was going to come.
Yeah. So, super excited that you won that and that you're able to go out there and reinvest into your business and to yourself, show up for yourself along the way.
Totally.
We have about, I'd say, a little less than 5 minutes left. Do you have any advice or recommendations to students who, one, want to apply for scholarships, and two, just in general as they're starting their careers?
Number one, show up for yourself. I'm going to say that a million times. You definitely want to do that. If you're doubting it, do it anyway. Like just get comfortable being uncomfortable, as Bree said the other day. I was saying that all week with my husband. Getting comfortable, being uncomfortable is really going to help you out. Take your first steps. And as an entrepreneur, there are days where you're going to wonder, like, I'm a failure. I'm wrong. Like, this is not working out. What did I do? I'm lost. I don't know where to go. And then literally within 4 hours, you're going to be like, no, I'm okay. It's fine. And it's normal. Another thing, winning 10K does not guarantee you clients. You still have to do the hard work and be patient. Like, you really have to be patient. They don't show up in 48 hours. It's not magic. Having the blessing of BCL and Dermaoligca does not get you clients either. You really have to integrate into your community. Seeing 5 a week for me is what I've finally built for myself. And that has gotten me to break even on my business, which is a phenomenal thing. 2 months in, I mean, that's a great thing. And it doesn't happen for everybody like that. So be aware that, yes, even though you do win a prize, it does not in any way guarantee you this fabulous clientele and you're going to be booked and busy or anything like that. So be realistic. You have to put in the time and the effort.
And if anybody was wanting to apply for scholarships, are there any other resources that you'd recommend? Or
Absolutely. So scholarships, I would say that BCL is probably the better one. PBA, Professional Beauty Association, that's another really good one. I haven't won anything through them, but also if you're looking for a business grant or know anybody who's starting a business, especially in the restaurant industry as well, go to Hello Alice, HELLOALICE. Their insignia is the blue rabbit. Hello Alice is a great funding resource for business entrepreneurs, and you'll meet other people from different walks of life, not just beauty professionals. It's everyone. BCL.
If you had a business that you were passionate about, then you would know what it takes to run a business, but you don't. Yeah. So don't even act like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, very much that.
I forget which buttons were in here, and that one that said business. I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, and playing off of that, if anybody ever comes up to you like, oh, you still got that little business, it's like, well, do you still have a little job? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that whole bit. So doubt yourself. It's normal. Don't run away from the nasty or the ugly feelings. They will come back. But yeah, you just have to be really thick-headed to just get through it and really have that resolve to just make it through those times when you're just like, I'm failing. 'Cause you're not. It's normal. Just give it time. It'll be okay. You'll be fine. No one's bleeding or dying. It's okay.
If you can do any celebrities like facial or skincare, who would you choose?
Oh, God. I would probably do Stevie Nicks.
Ooh.
From Fleetwood Mac.
That's a vibe.
Yeah, like I have watched literally every single interview of that woman from like the 1960s and 70s. I do not anticipate that she would be particularly pleasant. I don't know if she is or not. But Stevie Nicks, I think, or Mariah Carey. Mariah or
the
Stevie,
Christmas queen.
Or
the queen of Christmas.
Or Shania Twain. Shania Twain. I changed my answer. Shania for sure. Yeah,
you hear that, Shania? Tag her.
Shout out to Shania Twain. Come by or I will go to you and we'll make it happen. But yeah, I would definitely do one of those 3. I'm very inspired by women who are great, not only at what they do, but behind the scenes. All 3 of them are notable for their work ethic as well as their ability to write a song. And I respect that a lot. To be able to play an instrument is one thing. Sing is another. Also write your music, all your music. That's incredible,
Yeah.
So we, talked a lot about your background, got to know you, and you're providing so much value to the students, to the aesthetics and skincare community, to the local Upland community, and just the Salon Success family in general. Mm-hmm. What can we do to support you? As Salon Success, as listeners, what can listeners do to...
Well, more than anything, I mean, my hands do heal quite a bit. So if you're in need of, cultivation in any way, you definitely want to come and visit me at Leela Skin Suite number 8 at the Roxy Salon Suites on Euclid Foothill and Upland, California. But as a teacher, the greatest thing that you can offer me is questions. Send me your questions and I will do my best to answer them. As a teacher, you learn as you teach because sometimes you don't always have the answer off the top of your head, but because you care and because you like learning, you'll go the extra mile for your students or the person who's asking you, and you'll go find out. And then in the process, you both learn something, So definitely refer, definitely look for the chocolate, the white, and the red insignia with the palm leaf. That's the Leela Skin logo. Check out Onui Studio, ONUI Studio on Instagram. That's my husband's brand. He's the one that professionally designed my studio. But yeah, Yeah, send questions, especially to the students out there. Like, send your questions. I am not intimidated. Don't be intimidated. I'm not afraid to answer your questions either.
All right. Thank you so much for being here today. I cannot let you know how excited that both Monique and I were to have you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and one more time, where can we find you? Your Instagram, TikTok, all of that.
Oh, sure. So you can find me at Leela Skin, LeelaSkin LLC on Instagram, and then Leela Skin, Leela Skin on TikTok as well. And here's a little nugget that I was told by a colleague of mine. If you have something to show, you go to Instagram. If you have something to say, you go to TikTok.
Okay.
Just be aware of that, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Salon Success.
I love that song.